My name is Christian Andole. The Honorable Mr. President of the Court of Appeal, my Lord Justice, my ladies and your lordships. Good morning.
Good morning.
To restate my name is Christian Andole for the 76th respondent. And today, the issue that I'll be canvassing would be the cross appeal on particularly one issue, whether the president should refund the monies used in the unconstitutional constitutional amendment process. My lords and my ladies, Chinua Achebe in his book, Things Fall Apart, says like this, that a man who calls his kinsmen for a feast does not do so to save them from starving. They all have food in their homes. When we gather together in the moonlit village ground, it is not because of the moon. Everyone can see it in his compound. We come together because it is good for kinsmen to do so. My lords, I invite you to allow me to read the provisions of the Constitution in the Kiswahili language, not because the learned bench cannot comprehend English, but because it is good for the grave digger in Langata. It is good for the shoe shiner in community, and it is good for the pregnant Wanjiku in Pumwani. It is also good for the cattle rustler in Baragoi, and it's very good for the beach boy in Watamu. These are the people. These are the wananchi. Not a person bearing the titles Honorable or His Excellency. Any person bearing the titles Honorable or His Excellency, purporting to be the people, mwananchi, is a sheep, is a wolf in a sheep's skin. And my Lord, a special invitation to this court is this. There has been conflicting submissions on who the promoter of the bill is. On one hand, the Attorney General, in his submissions at paragraph 69, says that the initiative is the BBI initiative, a voluntary alliance of political parties. That is the description. But they come before here, and there have been conflicting narrations of who is the promoter or who is the initiator. To that extent, the exact finding that I'm asking this court to make is this: whether the appellants have approached this court with clean hands to warrant upsetting the decision of the High Court. That is the question. Should you find that the conflicting decisions, submissions they've made, then they do not warrant the overturning of the decision of the High Court. My Lord, this shift reminds me still of the words of Chinua Achebe in his book, Things Fall Apart, when he narrates about one character called Okonkwo. And Okonkwo writes like this and says like this: when I hold her hand, she says, don't touch. When I hold her foot, she says, don't touch. But when I hold her waist beads, she pretends not to know. The question is, my lords, that when you hold the waist beads of the appellants and ask them, who is the initiator of this proposed bill, they pretend not to know. That is the finding, my Lord, that I want you to make. For my Lord, the question is that where the court holds, the question is, my Lord, that the principle of constitutionalism would behoove this court to start like this, that expressio unius est exclusio alterius. To what extent am I saying this, my Lord? I make reference to our document, Andole Authorities. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island, in the Constitutional Convention of 1883, found at page 887 of volume 2, stated this to that principle. We are of the opinion that the mode provided in the Constitution for the amendment thereof is the only mode in which it can be constitutionally amended. The ordinary rule is that where power is given to do a thing in a particular way, there the affirmative words marking out the particular way prohibit all other ways by implication, so that the particular way is the only way in which this power can be legally executed. My lords and my ladies, on to my first point, whether this court should order His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to refund the public monies used in the unconstitutional constitutional process. My lords, on this is a novel issue for the following reasons. No court in Kenya has made a determination on Article 226(5) of the Constitution. In the whole of Africa, South Africa in 2018 is the only democratic country that ordered His Excellency President Jacob Zuma to refund approximately 1 billion shillings used in construction of his house. That was the taxpayers' money. And my lords, the history of the erstwhile Constitution of Kenya, with its 6 provisions on public finance, never provided for a provision akin to Article 226(5). High Court. Such demonstrable disingenuity, should the court fold its hands under the doctrines enunciated here of political rightness, mootness, political questions, I am afraid that the liberties of Kenyans and inalienable rights of the ordinary mwananchi would be suspended by a thread so slender than the hair strand that held the sword of the imperial King Dionysius over the head of Damocles. Thank you.